Whew, here we are. I'm gonna clean my glasses again. Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing the Bookish tag. I was tagged to do this by Belle from bellecanread, so thank you so much for tagging me and giving me another video idea, because Lord knows that I need more video ideas. So yes, this is a tag that consists of 10 questions, which is doable. So let's just get into it. I don't feel like doing a very long intro, so let's just get to the point, shall we? First question, how many books do you own? I made it a point to count them before I started filming this, and I have a little bit over 90 books, which means I'm way overdue for an unhaul. Some of the books that I own are childhood books that I don't really want to get rid of, but there are a couple that I have on my shelf right now that I don't think I'll ever really read, that I just purchased because I wanted more books on my shelves, and now they're taking up space where I actually would want to put books that I am gonna read. So yes, I have a lot of books, I feel like. I know that there are some booktubers out there who have like over 500 books or some crazy number like that. I'm not like that. I don't want to have that many books. Probably will get past 100 books at some point in my life, but for now I'm trying to keep it under 100. I didn't even expect to have nearly 100 books. I expected to have maybe 50, but it turns out that I am more of a hoarder than I thought I was. So yes, a little over 90, like 94, 95. Question number 2, how many books are you currently reading? Since I got Audible, I tend to read a physical book and an audiobook at the same time. So currently I'm reading Becoming by Michelle Obama. I've been reading that for weeks because it's a very long audiobook, and yeah, I'm reading it now on 2 times speed. I started out reading it on 1.5 times speed, but I wanted to get through it a little bit faster. Even though it's so great and I kind of also don't want it to end, I do want to move on to the next thing before I am stuck with this audiobook until August. The second book that I'm reading, technically not a physical book, but it is my physical book that I'm currently reading, and that is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, the sequel to Strange the Dreamer. I read Strange the Dreamer in 2018, I think, so I wanted to get to Muse of Nightmare a bit quickly so that I could, you know, read it without having to reread Strange the Dreamer. Now that I'm reading it, I'm noticing that I've forgotten a couple of things that happened in Strange the Dreamer, but I'm just powering through, trying to get through Muse of Nightmares, because I do want to know how this duology ends. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying both of the books that I'm reading, which is great. At some point you will see my rating on them. If you follow me on Goodreads, then you can see my progress and my updates. Also, I tend to post quotes that I enjoy from the books that I'm reading on Twitter, so if that's something that you're interested in, definitely go check out my Twitter. I'll link it below all of the Black Lives Matter resources that you'll find in my description too. Definitely check those out while you're there. Yes, so if you're interested in that, read through the Black Lives Matter resources and then get to my social media. Shameless self-promo, but also shameless promotion of human rights, which is important. Next question, a book you did not enjoy. I've been talking about Serpent and Dove way too much, so for this one I'm going to mention a different book that I read and absolutely did not enjoy. That book is none other than Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I bought this book because of the title. I didn't really know what it was going to be about, but I heard people say that it was, you know, a very good Halloween read. So in October of the year of our Lord, 2018 or 2019, I think it was, I don't really exactly remember, one or the other, I picked this up at the start of October and I finished it in early November. It's a 260-ish page book, but it took me so long because I could not get through it. And the reason I could not get through it was because of the writing. The premise of this book was great. The story itself was not bad, but the writing just made it completely and utterly unbearable and makes me hate this book. And I couldn't finished the last couple of chapters. I pushed through this like it was torture. I don't even know why I did it to myself. I think back when I was reading it, I still had that weird sense that I had to finish every single book that I picked up. But after reading this, I decided to start DNFing books. I don't want to do this to myself ever again. I know that Ray Bradbury is like a very popular author, like a very, I don't know, well-respected author, but I just don't understand why people love his writing so much. I think he wrote Fahrenheit 451, I think. Am I still kind of interested in reading that? Yes. Does it terrify me to pick that book up? Oh, Lord. Yes, it does. Because I don't think I want to put myself through another book full of just way too many adjectives and sentences that are so complicated and just nonsensical that you have to read them 3 times before you understand what's going on. It was so irritating and so annoying, and I just hated it so much, and I don't even know why I still have this. I think I still have this to burn it next October when I'm having like maybe a bonfire. I am very against hurting your books or hurting books in general or wasting paper because the environment. But this one, I chucked it across the room when I finally turned the last page because it was just that upsetting. I actually keep this book in my closet because I don't want it on my shelves. It does not deserve to be on my shelves. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to know that I have it. In my first unhaul, this one will probably leave my house. This will be the one that goes. I don't know, maybe I'll give this to someone who does like Ray Bradbury, but no, I just could not. All right, onto a more positive note. We're gonna talk about cover buys. I don't do this. I don't cover buy ever. If I see a book that has a nice cover, I will always read the synopsis, and if it does not intrigue me, I will not spend my money on that book. All right, let's pause here for a second and remember what I just said about Something Wicked This Way Comes. I bought this book because of the title.
I bought this book because of the title.
Yeah, I'm a hypocrite. Anyway, that being said, the closest thing that I have come to a cover buy are the following books that I will show you right now. I'm gonna take a little B-roll of this, and these are books that I took from my grandmother's home, who has this huge bookshelf with a bunch of really old books. Some of these books are nearly 100 years old, and they're just so pretty. I love them. I don't know much about their contents, but I will probably eventually read them. And these are books that I will never unhaul, even if I don't like them, because they were gifted to me by a family member. And they're just so pretty, and they're old, and I love them. And for now, they mainly serve as decoration, but I do definitely want to read them at some point. Because this channel is in English, I'm not gonna really tell you much about them, unless you tell me in the comments to talk about them anyway, because they are in Dutch, but they're so stunning. And yeah, so these I just took because the covers are gorgeous, and yeah. So these are my only cover buys, except I did not spend money on them. I just got them for free, and I could not say no because you just saw it. They're absolutely beautiful. Next on, we're gonna go to a book that you hate the cover of. Weirdly enough, same way with me not cover buying, I also don't buy covers that I dislike. If I dislike a certain cover of a book that I want to read, I will always try to find an edition of that book with a cover that I do think is nice looking. However, with one particular book that I really wanted to have, I could not do that, which was very unfortunate, and that is this edition of Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I don't know what it is, I just think that this cover is kind of hideous. I've also seen the cover that is like purple and kind of cartoony, and I really wanted to have that one, but it was not in the bookstore when I was in America and trying to purchase all the books off of my wish list. I couldn't find it. This was the only one they had, so I settled for it, but I think the cover is kind of ugly, especially compared to the other cover, which, if I can find it, I'll put it up here. This is so much nicer looking. This is so much prettier than whatever this is. This is the 10th anniversary edition, but I don't like the cover of this one at all. Next is a book you haven't read in years. Now, the book that I'm gonna pull up for this, I'm not sure if I haven't read it in years. I think I opened it a while ago to read a little section from it. And the book we're talking about is How to Be a Boss by Lily Singh. I got this book from my parents for like Christmas or something a while ago when I still watched her videos. I don't watch her anymore. I've seen some drama floating around surrounding her, but I never really clicked on any of those videos because I had enough drama going on in my own life, so I was not about to get into that. And yeah, I don't even know how far I'm into this one. Yeah, I'm on page 83 and it has nearly 300 pages. Yes, this is one of those books. It's kind of a self-help book, but not quite. It's just her explaining how to be a professional, I guess, or how to kind of beat life. And this is one of those books that you will randomly pick up, read a chapter, and then put back for another month before you see it again, and you're like, oh, hey, maybe that's a thing I should, pick up again. So it's been a long time since I last opened this one up, but I might want to, get to finishing it at some point because I don't want to, DNF it completely. Because I do think that she has some interesting things to say. It's not incredibly profound, but then again, I'm kind of shitty at talking about nonfiction books like this, like self-help books, because I don't read them a lot. I literally got this because I liked her videos, because it's a YouTuber book, obviously. But yeah, have not opened this in years. What feels like years to me. It's probably not actually years, but it feels like years, so that's my answer for this. I should probably get to finishing this at some point. Otherwise, I have no choice but to maybe get rid of it at some point. Question number 7 is a book you will always recommend. I'm gonna have to think about this one for a bit. I haven't written anything down for this one yet because I guess I didn't really know. So I'm gonna just think about that right now for a second. I think I'm one of those people who will recommend their favorite books despite knowing that the person who they're recommending it to will probably not like it as much as me, because I just want people to read my favorite books even if they hate them, which is weird. So the books that I generally recommend to people are The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and Nevermore, because I love those books myself and I want people to read them even if they're gonna hate them. I want people to read them just so that I can talk to those people about them. That's literally it. But if somebody asks me for specific recommendations or recommendations that they will enjoy, then I will generally not recommend those unless they're anything like me and I know that they will enjoy those. I don't know, I do recommend The Song of Achilles a lot. I actually gave the copy that I had to a friend for her to read, and she loved it, which was great, made me very happy. So yeah, I guess those are the books that I will always recommend, and I hereby recommend them to you if you're watching this. Go read those books. Go read The Night Circus and The Song of Achilles and Nevermore if you haven't yet. They're great. They'll add something to your life, I'm sure. Except maybe not The Night Circus because it takes a very particular person to like that book, I've found. But give it a go anyways. You might end up being that person. Who knows? And you'll love me for it, trust me. Question number 8, your all-time favorite series. Currently, I'm gonna have to say Nevermore. I don't read series a lot, or I haven't finished a lot of series, and the series that I have finished up until this point were Six of Crows duology and These Rebel Waves. And yeah, Nevermore is still an ongoing series, but I still feel like it's my favorite because I look forward to the releases of the new books, and it's kind of my Harry Potter in a way. And I think it's better than Harry Potter, so yes. Currently, that is my favorite series. All-time favorite, I don't know, because there are not many series that I've read and really loved. We're gonna see. Question number 9, where do you read? I read basically anywhere, but most of the time I'll read in bed, on a couch, or on public transport. I listen to audiobooks whenever I feel like it, when I'm doing chores, when I'm on public transport or walking my dog, as we all know. Because if you've seen my reading vlogs for the Asian readathon that I made in May, I was just constantly listening to the audiobook of Little Fires Everywhere while I was walking my dog. So yes, I do that a lot, but physical books, I will have to actually sit down, so either be in bed on a couch or like just anywhere in my home. Oh, and during long car rides I will read, because it's just, some people can't read in the car because they'll get nauseous. I've never had that problem, thankfully, which is great. I feel like that's my little personal superpower. I can read in a car without getting nauseous. Question number 10, my last 2 5-star ratings. So my last, most recent 5-star book was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Been reading the Harry Potter series for the first time. Yes, I've seen everything that's going on Twitter with J.K. Rowling. Still reading the books anyway. I gave a little bit of an explanation on that in my last video. So far, The Prince of Azkaban has been my favorite. I've heard that it's many people's favorite. Yeah, I gave that one 5 stars because I really loved it. And the second most recent book that I gave 5 stars is Red, White, and Royal Blue, because it just really made me happy and I really enjoyed reading that. If you haven't read it yet, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. Oh, that was the last question. Thank you so much for watching this. I have to tag 4 people. I haven't really checked who has done this tag and who hasn't, so at the end of this I will insert a little card with the people that I tag, and I will link everybody in the description. I will also link Belle's video in the description because she tagged me. All of the people that I'm tagging, check them out. Check out Belle, she's great, and I'm really thankful that she tagged me to do this video. Check out the Black Lives Matter resources in my description, and unsubscribe from my channel and subscribe to the Black Booktubers that I've also linked down below, because they deserve more subscribers, they deserve more likes, they deserve more attention and views, and they deserve to have their voices heard. So go check them out, please, and I hope you have a lovely day. And yeah, that's it for me for today. Bye. I have it here somewhere, I think. No, I actually put it away. It's good that I put it away. But I'm gonna grab it anyway because I have it on my shelf and I want to show it to you. You know what? I'm not gonna show it to you because J.K. Rowling is a TERF.